Hello my dear friend, I'm glad to see you on the Tech Vector channel. Comparing last year's iPhone 13 and the new iPhone 14 is not a very interesting exercise. There are not so many differences between them. In fact, everything depends on money, and the advice is simple. If you want the newest, buy an iPhone 14. If you want to save a little, then look at the iPhone 13. The new generation of iPhone has the iPhone 14 Plus with a large 6.7-inch screen. A smartphone for those who are not enough 6.1 inches in a regular iPhone 14, or who doesn't want to overpay for the more expensive iPhone 14 Pro Max. But the bottom line is that the novelty has a direct competitor. This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. In this video we will compare iPhone 14 Plus and iPhone 13 Pro Max and see what is better to buy. And before starting, I recommend that you like, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the release of new videos. It is necessary to make a remark that the iPhone 13 Pro Max has disappeared from the Apple online store, but stocks still remain, and experience shows that the smartphone will be sold in networks from reserves for about a year. From the point of view of the ratio of weight and size, the iPhone 14 Plus looks preferable. The phones have the same screen size, but the iPhone 14 Plus is slightly thicker, but noticeably lighter than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. 203 grams versus 240 grams respectively. Both smartphones received ceramic shield glass. However, the frame of the iPhone 14 Plus is made of aluminum, while that of the iPhone 13 Pro Max is steel. In the first case it is matte and in the color of the body, but does not get dirty, and in the second case it is glossy and easily soiled, but the steel frame is much stronger. You can feel the difference if you walk with a smartphone without a case, but if you prefer protection, then the materials no longer play any role. The physical dimensions of the screen are identical, 6.7 inches diagonally, there are all LED displays, the cutouts are the same. The glasses are flat and easily covered with protective coatings. The main difference between the iPhone 13 Pro Max is ProMotion technology with the adaptive refresh rate up to 120 Hz, which the iPhone 14 Plus does not have. Super smooth animation is not important to everyone, but if it can be, then why deny yourself the pleasure? The screen is slightly brighter on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, 1000 nits versus 800 nits on the iPhone 14 Plus, but the difference is not much in practical use. Calling last year's 5nm Apple A15 Bionic obsolete does not turn the top. It has a reserve for many years to come. This chipset was on the 2021 iPhone lineup and is also used on the iPhone 14 Plus this year. The iPhone 13 Pro Max and iPhone 14 Plus each have 6GB of RAM, from 128 to 512GB of internal memory, but the iPhone 13 Pro Max also has 1TB of memory. The differences are hidden in the details. For example, the iPhone 14 Plus will have a more recent version of Bluetooth 5.3, not 5.0, an emergency notification via satellites and a call for help in case of an accident have appeared. US versions of the iPhone 14 Plus will not have a physical SIM tray and will have two eSIMs. In other markets, these features will not be, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max is no different. At the presentation of the iPhone 14 Plus, we had that this iPhone is the best in terms of battery life. If you look at the specifications, it will work for 26 hours in video playback mode, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max gets 28 hours in this mode. If we take streaming video, then the iPhone 13 Pro Max wins again, 25 hours versus 20 30 hours. But in the audio player mode, the iPhone 14 Plus wins. It has 100 hours versus 95 hours. As for me, this weekly draws on the statement of a better battery life for an iPhone. If you look at the specifications, it turned out that the iPhone 14 Plus camera is a step up from the iPhone 13, but it still falls short of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. At least in terms of the number of cameras. There is no telephoto with a threefold optical zoom. But to the delight of selfie lovers, the front camera has been improved. Now the aperture is f1.9 and not f2.2. Picture in poor lighting should be better. Also, the front camera now has autofocus. The wide angle of the iPhone 14 Plus is inferior in aperture ratio. In theory, it will be worse. f2.4 versus f1.8 for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Both smartphones have optical stabilization, but the iPhone 14 Plus also has a new action mode to get rid of the effect of shaky hands. Another feature of the iPhone 14 Plus is the new photonic engine for processing images using neural networks. It gets rid of artifacts, improving the frame taken in bad conditions. But the iPhone 13 Pro Max also has interesting features to offer. You can take portraits in night mode, take macro photos and videos, and shoot in ProRAW and ProRes. At the same time, strangely, the iPhone 14 Plus is able to shoot video with a cinematic mode in 4K at 30 FPS, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max is not. It has Full HD limits. So what to choose? Last season's flagship cost $199 for the 128GB version, while the iPhone 14 Plus costs $899. I think that the iPhone 13 Pro Max will drop in price a little and become a very attractive purchase. On the side of the iPhone 13 Pro Max, a more spectacular appearance, a 120Hz screen, an additional third camera for portraits, a 1TB version, support for ProRAW and ProRes, and macro shooting. The iPhone 14 Plus had the following advantages. It is cheaper, it is the novelty of the season, it is noticeably lighter, the front camera is better, new software improvers for the camera. Apple has already stopped production of the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max lines. Whether to buy a smartphone from the remaining stocks or wait for a new product is up to you. But the rule "last year flagship is a rational purchase" still applies in this case. Perhaps the only things left is to ask you guys, what smartphone do you use and will you upgrade to iPhone 14 Plus or iPhone 13 Pro Max? Write your answers in the comments below the video. And also like this video, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the release of new videos. See you soon!